Hello, fellow digital soldiers, and welcome to True Reporting. It is December 19th, and on today's podcast, I wanted to share with you the cover of the Economist 2019 Decode. This is on a Twitter thread, and it blew my mind. I'll tell you right now that we are definitely in the middle of a power struggle between the alliance, which involves Trump, the Q team, Putin, the military, these sort of people, good people, against a definite new world order, a globalist ran world. And there's definitely a spiritual realm involved and also a physical realm involved. And the symbolism within this is unbelievable. You're going to very much so enjoy this. And but before we get to all enjoy it, if you would please go ahead and click that blue bell to get notifications, so when I post, you'll be the first to know. Also, please follow me on Twitter at True Reporting, and don't forget to leave a like. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other people, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into this. This is True Reporting. So we see here the world in 2019. We see a British bulldog, an Indian elephant, Trump. Looks like a satellite of some sort. A gentleman holding a pot leaf. A lot of weird stuff, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. The symbolism within this, which we will break down, decode rather, is going to be pretty cool. So it says the whole damn thing except 2019, we'll get to that later, is in mirrored script. You literally have to reverse the image to read it. Also, this is the 33rd edition. So we all know about 33rd level Freemasons. Very powerful people. Is that who's running the show? We may find out, right? The world in 2019. The world in 2019 will build on 3 decades of publishing success. This will be the 33rd edition. It will look ahead to the Trump administration's prospects with a new Congress, the reality of Brexit, elections in India, Indonesia, Nigeria, and across Europe, tech disruptions from AI and China. Could 2019 mark peak Silicon Valley space travel 50 years after the moon landing and culture 500 years after Leonardo da Vinci? So that's basically the beginning of this. Before we dive into this I need to get into a quick rundown on The Economist. For those who may not know, it's a globalist NWO propaganda masquerading as an economics magazine. One of the more notable covers to this effect, and we can check this cover out right here, which is so weird. Excuse me. The Economist. Can Britain keep booming? Takes shoulda, whatever that means, comes to town. Investment banks pull back. Perestroika's first test. Get ready for a world currency. And then we see 10 Phoenix, and it looks like a 10 cent. Very weird. But that's what the gist of this magazine is, or book, or whatever it's supposed to be. The Economist is operated by one Lynn Forrester de Rothschild. Oh, of course, the Rothschilds. The one who called Podesta a loser on Twitter. We can check this out. The Economist is an English language weekly magazine. Format newspaper owned by Economist Group and edited at offices in London. Continuous publications began under its founder James Wilson in September 1843. In 2015, its average weekly circulation was a little over 1.5 million, about half of which were sold in the United States. The publications belong to the Economist Group. It is 50% owned by the English branch of the Rothschild family, the Schroeder family, and by the Agnelli family through its holding company Exor. The remaining 50% is held by private investors, including the editors and staff. The Rothschilds and the Agnellis are represented on the board of directors. A board of trustees formally appointed the editor, who cannot be removed without its permission. Although The Economist has a global emphasis, its journalists are based in London borough of Westminster. So Yeah, it's very strange. Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, a 61-year-old lawyer, businesswoman, and prominent fundraiser for Hillary Clinton, manages her family's 21% stake in the magazine. She has not sat on its board since 2002, where she has been a forceful, if not always popular, presence. So we all know about her. We all know about the Rothschilds, right? Now that we know what we're dealing with, let the decode commence. First thing I notice is there is a panda sitting on the Earth, the top of the Earth, actually. Number or hashtag China much? It looks kind of grumpy, as we see here on the very top of the picture. Next, I see a real Donald Trump and what appears to be an overlay of golden spiral sacred geometry over his, I believe that's pronounced visage. This seems as a positive reference, not sure what to make of it. So yeah, we've seen this right here. Very weird. You see that with like the perfectness, like the amazing structure of like a seashell, other things like that. There's another similar image to President Trump's with the words facial recognition above it. This is so weird, guys. The image is similar. The obvious differences being it's not Trump, and the golden ratio of perfection is absent. It seems more of a homogenized version to me. So we see here facial recognition. This is on the cover now. Look at this. This is on the opposite end of the page. Very weird. Dead center placement is the stork, delivering a baby with a serial code barcode on the bundle. Designer babies, corporate control over reproduction, DNA patenting, manipulation. See, these people are sick. Hashtag right here. Look at this, guys. Their symbolism will be their downfall. I spy the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They just look to be watching and waiting. Nothing ominous about that. And then we see the oh my god face, kind of like what is this? At the top left, we see Leonardo da Vinci's aerial screw with an arrow towards the moon, created in the late 15th century. The aerial screw was more helicopter than spacecraft, but I think the implication is clear. Couldn't help noticing it's a crescent moon. And we could check out the picture right here. So this is more of a helicopter pointing towards a crescent moon. And then we see this is another picture of it. God, that is so strange. I see Vladimir Putin in reference to his pipelines, oil, influence, cooperation, corruption, multiple meanings. For my part, I like Putin. NWO hates him. Very true. No surprise he made the cover with President Trump. Absolutely. And then we could check out this picture here. That is definitely Putin. And it says Putin's pipelines. So we'll continue on. There's one more I would like to get to. Off to the far right is the New Horizons spacecraft, which will pass the asteroid Ultima Thule on New Year's Day on its way to Pluto. And New Horizons to Ultima Thule. So what the hell is in Pluto? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that even on there? Like, we have telescopes. Even the Hubble telescope, built in the 70s, can shoot almost to the beginning of when the universe was created. You know, I mean, we can send stuff to land on Mars and everything, but why do we care about Pluto? Why is it even on this? This is really strange. And then a 3 billion mile journey to take snaps of Pluto. New Horizons travel at 36,000 miles per hour, 300 times faster than a jet plane. At its speed, it could be wrecked if hit by any object as small as a pebble. Sounds like a waste of money to me. Measures the solar wind charged particles emitted by the sun around Pluto. Sends radio signals that probe the planet's atmosphere. The craft is the size of a baby grand piano. On board are a 1991 U.S. postage stamp and $2 coins. Strange. Unlike previous probes, there are no messages to alien life on board. No need for that, right? So, yeah, we're going to shoot that thing out on New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, rather. This one is deeply intriguing, he says. The first thing I thought of was this. For some reason, I can't link anything to this thread, so I encourage readers to search the words Trump, Thule, German idealism, and watch the 3-minute odd interview and read up. Rest in peace, Can't Bot. So it says here, Trump will complete the system of German idealism. A few months ago, a delightful eccentric was interviewed on the streets of New York, claiming that Donald Trump, if elected, would raise Thule as well as Atlantis. This chubby-cheeked, curly-haired, manic moppet, who calls himself Cantbot, went on to predict that Trump would complete the system of German idealism. The video went viral, at least in our circles. So weird, right? Donald Trump will complete the system of German idealism. And we see this guy here talking about it. So if you want to just type in, I have not yet, and I'm going to, Trump Thule German idealism. Go ahead and put that in the YouTube search and see what comes up. Very weird, though. So he's going to bring back Atlantis. I remember seeing that video very near the time it was filmed, and it stuck in my brain until this unlocked it. Strange enough, Ultima Thule, the aforementioned asteroid, gets its name from Latin. Ultima Thule, definition of Ultima Thule by the Free Dictionary. The northernmost region of the habitable world as thought of by ancient geographers. Number 2, a distant territory or destination. And 3, a remote, and then it just kind of fades out. But strange nonetheless. So why is this guy talking about that, right? Number 1, the northernmost region of the inhabitable world as thought of by ancient geographers, and an asteroid, and an advanced civilization akin to Atlantis, and it's commemorated on the mirror decoded 2019 cover of The Economist, yet it isn't mentioned in the mission objectives. The goal of the mission is to understand the formation of the Plutonian system, the Kuiper Belt, and the transformation of the early solar system. The spacecraft collected data on the atmosphere, surfaces, interiors, and environments of Pluto and its moons. It will also study other objects in the Kuiper Belt. So let's move along to an interesting configuration of several things. I believe they are interacting with each other over here. We have Gandhi with a hand loom right here, a post-Brexit British bulldog right there, and an Indian elephant whose tusk is an arrow indicating rise or upward movement down here, as you can see. Gandhi and the hand loom specifically are symbolic of the Indian people and their struggle against imperialist Britain. And then we can check here this Deccan Chronicle. One of the highlights of India's freedom struggle against the British imperialism was the Swadeshi movement, which strived to promote indigenous products, especially hand looms and handicrafts. The iconic charkha spinning wheel, made famous by Mahatma Gandhi, played a stellar role in mobilizing the masses across the country to fight a formidable empire where the sun never set. Weird, right? And then we can see it here. The iconic, I believe, is Charkha spinning wheel, made famous by Gandhi, played a stellar role in mobilizing the masses across the country to fight a formidable empire where the sun never set. So, a real picture right there for you. Alright, so the tusk on the elephant seems to be pointing to India taking a step up in the global affairs. India is very wealthy. While the post-Brexit bulldog doesn't portend much positivity, especially coupled with the Gandhi reference to imperialism. Perhaps India, UK conflict in the future? Only time will tell. There are multiple other references going on here that I'm going to leave up to the reader, for their own decoding. I don't want to hog all the fun, but I will end on this note. Earlier, I referenced that the cover was all mirrored script except for the year 2019. So in words, to read the script, you have to reverse the image, which gives you this. And I will click on it to show you. I don't see anything right now. Maybe he can tell us, right? To me, that looks like it says Eros. Okay, the 2019. Here we go with the occult ancient gods again. Loosens the limbs and weakens the mind. Eros. In Greek mythology, Eros was the Greek god of sexual attraction. His Roman counterpart was Cupid. Some myths make him a primordial god, while in other myths he is the son of Aphrodite. He was one of the winged love gods. Okay, so a little weird there. And then basically Eros was the Greek god of love, or more precisely, passionate and physical desire. Without warning, he selects his targets and forcefully strikes at the hearts, bringing confusion and irrepressible feelings, or in the world of Hesiod, he who loosens the limbs and weakens the mind. Eros, Adonis, Cupid, Tammuz, Osiris, Baal, and Balder. Oh, look at these pictures. Babylon and the Cupid connection. Nimrod, Semiramis, Tammuz. Cupid, the son of Venus, is really Tammuz, son of Semiramis. Occult holidays and Sabbats, the cutting edge. Cupid, Tammuz of Babylon. Cupid of pagan Rome. Let me see him down here too. This stuff's so interesting, guys. Eros is also an asteroid, one more associated with Mars than Pluto, in the Kuiper Belt. Lots of occult astrology being referenced to be in the cover. Where is Eros located? Eros, first asteroid found to travel mainly inside the orbit of Mars, and the first to be orbited and landed on by a spacecraft. Eros was discovered on August 13th, 1898 by German astronomer Gustav Witt at the Urania Observatory in Berlin. It's named for the god of love in Greek mythology. To complicate matters even further, Leonardo da Vinci visits 2019. The coming year sees the 500th anniversary of the death of Leonardo da Vinci. To mark the occasion, The World in 2019, our annual edition that looks at the year ahead, publishes a page from a newly discovered volume of Leonardo's journal, written a few months before his death on May 2nd, 1519, that records his visit to the year 2019 as the guest of a mysterious time traveler. Oh my God. That's it for the thread. I entrust the final decodes to who wish to join. If you find anything juicy, feel free to share and discuss here. Thank you for reading. Happy hunting. Where we go one, we go all. The Great Awakening. Symbols, NWO, Cabal, Q, Army. Right here, Ultima Thule, or 2014 MU69, was supposed to be named Mjolnir after Thor's hammer. New Horizons meet Ultima Thule probes target gets a nickname. So yeah, guys, I wanted to share this with you because there's just, the symbolism is crazy, and I'm really into this kind of stuff. It's very cool. The whole talk about Leonardo da Vinci visiting 2019 with a time traveler, the stuff about Trump being a time traveler and Baron Trump and all this kind of stuff. And this book, where's that book? This book is just so many synchronicities. It's crazy. Is it mathematically impossible? Like when does it become that? And just strange all the way around, whichever way you look at it, especially if you're awake like you and I are. Very fun stuff, though, to be honest. Guys, I'm going to put out another podcast, and I may do a live stream this evening. I'm not sure at the moment. I tried to take my foot off the accelerator because I was putting out a lot of content, and I just don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But guys, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to leave a like. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. Guys, I fully enjoy every time I do this, and I really appreciate the support. So guys, keep in touch with me, and I will talk to you very soon. Be kind to one another, love one another, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.